Welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program. In our last episode, we launched the rocket to Laythe, the first moon of Joule system. And now we are arriving there and we're going to see what is going to happen. Here is our KISS Mark III. KISS stands of course for Kerbal Interplanetary Starship, and not what you all think. And here we are on our approach to the Joule system. As you remember, in our last episode we had a nice encounter with Laythe. But what the hell is that? The encounter is not there. So we're going to create a new maneuver node, and we're going to create us a new encounter. Here we are, doing final little adjustments, making sure that our periapsis around Laythe is where we want it, and we want it around 20 kilometers, or maybe even a bit less, so 18 kilometers. And maneuver is ready. We're time warping to it, and we're going to burn in a couple seconds. And our burn is almost done. Everything looks fine. Let's transfer some fuel back and forth. Time warp again. And what the hell is that? We are losing our encounter again, for no apparent reason. I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but it happened. If any of you who is watching know why could it have happened, please let me know in the comments. So, after some massive derp, we are going to create a new encounter, and for that we are creating this maneuver node to actually enter the Joule's orbit, and then we are going to adjust it to make sure that we encounter Laythe where we need it. What we are going to do is we are going to create a highly eccentric orbit around Joule, and we're going to change our inclination angle so that we are orbiting in the same plane as Laythe. This is exactly what we're doing with this maneuver node. And maneuver is ready. We're almost there. Along the way we are going to jettison 2 of our empty fuel tanks, because they only contain weight and don't do anything for us. Or not weight, mass. And now we're going to fly to our apoapsis, the place where our speed is lowest, and there we're going to adjust our orbit. Why we're going to change our orbit almost at our apoapsis? Well, the answer is simple. At the apoapsis, it's easier to change velocity near periapsis, and we won't be wasting our valuable fuel and delta V. Our maneuver is almost done. It required only tiny change in our velocity, and we're going to create another node to fine-tune our approach when we are much closer. And we are almost there. Our periapsis around Laythe is at approximately 20,000 meters, or it will be when we complete our burn. Come on, find the node, apply the thrust, and the thrust is now. So here we are, our apoapsis is where we want it, and at this point I thought, yeah, maybe it will be enough, and maybe we'll be able to do error capture around the lathe with our not so good periapsis. And here we are on our approach. Our velocity is falling down, our altitude is falling down. We are trying to do some science and to save some of our solar panels, but yeah. Quick load. Okay, this time we're going to go with lower apoapsis, something that I've done during my tests, and the apoapsis was around 17.5 kilometers, and it was perfect for the error capture. So here we go. Our node is complete. Our periapsis is where we want it. Let's find out. Once again, we're trying to do some science and to save our solar panels. So we are close to Laythe. We're going to retract our solar panels. Maybe not. Oh yes. And we're starting to burn in the atmosphere. Not really burn, because nothing is being destroyed. We're doing science. And oops. This is no longer an error capture. So, quick load. I decided to raise our periapsis by 1 kilometer this time and go for 18.5 kilometers. So maybe we'll not get the perfect capture, but in the worst case we still have our engine and we can use it to drop some velocity. Here we go. On our approach, as always, we retract our solar panels and we are trying to do science. So here we go. We are in atmosphere and we are doing high atmosphere experiments, like checking what kind of pressure, what kind of temperature there is, and other interesting things. And unfortunately we have to burn our engine to actually get captured by Laythe. But not to worry, we still have a ton of delta V. So we're going to raise our periapsis so that we are not going to fall down to Laythe. Extend our solar panels and complete the circularization of our orbit on the next turn. By the way, we are doing some science. Kerbals are very fascinated by vibrant colors and nice pictures. We're getting close to our maneuver node. We're doing some more science in lower orbit this time, and we are going to circularize our orbit at around 80 kilometers. almost perfect, and it will happen even without the node. Sounds good to me. So now we are going to attempt to land. The key word here is attempt. We are not going to land. Why? Well, the answer is very simple. Unfortunately, our ship contains a major technical flaw. The landing legs are short. No matter how soft and gentle our landing is, it will always break our main engine. There is nothing I can do. There is no way around it. It always breaks off. So what is going to happen? You're going to see a quick compilation of my fails. Here we go. After we found out that landing is not an option, the decision was made to salvage at least something from this mission. So we are going to do some orbital stuff, and then we are going to encounter another moon of Joule, Val. Here we are setting our approach, making sure that our periapsis around Val is kinda low. Here we don't have to worry about error capture, because Val doesn't have any atmosphere. As a matter of fact, only Laythe has any kind of atmosphere. And by only, I mean only Moon in the Kerbal Space Program. Of course, there are planets with atmosphere. Here we go. Almost what we need. And that's... what the hell? Our encounter went somewhere again. So we have to create a new one. Well, not a big deal. Our node is here. It's very tiny. So we're just going to do it carefully by doing some little puffs of frost. And here is Val. Well, not here, it's our ship. There is Val. We've done our usual science package. Unfortunately, I forgot to do EVA report. Well. And now we're going into the orbit around Joule. We're setting up our transfer window to Kerbin. And on our time warp, we were captured by one of the Joule's moons, and we were shot into interstellar space. Fortunately enough, we can still salvage the situation. All we need to do is waste a ton of delta V on returning to Joule's orbit. Sad. And after we are in the Joule's orbit, we can actually use our old maneuver. The one that returned us from the Minmus, from the moon, and from all other, well, almost all other planets. What we need to do is to burn retrograde in relation to the Joule's orbit. That will drop our periapsis low enough so that we have a carbon capture, just as we see here. And I'm trying to be more smarter than I am and trying to adjust my encounter all the way back from the Joule. And as you can see, I'm failing miserably. Finally, I get something more or less encountery, or in other words, something that gets us into the close space to Kerbin, not 1 million kilometers away. The burn part will be approximately 12 times faster than normal speed, not to bore anyone to death. So even at such speed, it's still slow. And here we are creating our final, well, not final, but one of the approaches, and time warping for 300 days. I'll just cut it out. Fortunately for us, Kerbins don't eat, drink, sleep, don't require any heating, don't produce any waste, or any other way require any kind of sustenance. Or maybe they are doing photosynthesis. We don't know. But in any case, they can spend approximately a year stuck in a capsule in the middle of nowhere and survive. If only humans could do the same. And here we are derping around with the orbit again, trying to catch this nice sweet spot where we get our error capture, but not actually going directly to the ground. And finally I decided I'll just tweak our approach a little bit closer to the target, and it looks like we have a successful capture and orbit. How nice. Well, we don't really have an orbit, but we are going to have an error capture. And here we go. Our periapsis is where we want it. With time warping to Kerbin's sphere of influence, and much closer to Kerbin. Finally, in approximately 3 years, Jebediah can see his home again. He must be very, very, very happy. Before we actually crash land, we are going to raise our periapsis a little bit, just to make sure that we are not going to crash and will have some resemblance of landing. And unfortunately it's not enough to actually have a proper error capture that we wanted. We get into the orbit first, and on our next turn we are going to land. But this time there is simply no way we can escape the gravity of Kerbin. Here we are, popping our parachutes. And touchdown in 3, 2, 1, boom. Wow, first time I caught it. And so ends our first not so successful mission to the Jewel space. It could have gone better, much better. So next time we're going to fix all the issues with our spacecraft, and we're going to take more scientific equipment with us that will allow us to finally finish the technology tree and think about what else can we do in this game. Thank you all for watching. Remember, if you like video, click the like button. If you dislike the video, click the dislike button. And if you feel like sharing your reasons, leave them in the comments below. If you really like what you're watching and want to see more of it, then click the subscribe button. It's completely free and you will get a nice notification on your YouTube page when the new video is available. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next episode.